Back with another Savage stream, and according to my viewers over here, you guys are not interested in Ravencoin for some reason. I don't get it. I don't know. I think Ravencoin's a great project. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, we are going to talk about mining Ravencoin tonight on NVIDIA GPUs. We're going to be using the 3 gig P10690s and Hive OS for the operating system. And I kind of want to go from zero to hero, so like no mining OS, you know, just a rig that's built and you want to mine Ravencoin on it, and how to get there using Hive OS. That's basically what we're going to be covering. So let's get into it. But before I say that, before we get into it, thanks for everybody liking, sharing, subscribing, all that cool stuff. You guys are rock stars around here. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I just gotta throw that out there at the beginning here. All right, guys, let's look at what we're doing here. So we are going to be using, now this video assumes that you already have a rig built and you've already like tested it as far as it's up and running and all the GPUs are being recognized and stuff like that by BIOS, by the motherboard and all that. And now you just want to switch it over to Hive OS and get it up and running on that. So the first thing you'll do is go to HiveOS.farm. Hey, what's up, Crypto Michael? What's up, Guild War? So you'll go to HiveOS.farm. That's my ref link right there in the chat, and that doesn't cost you anything extra to register through my ref link, so don't worry about that. But you'll go to HiveOS.farm, and you know you've got a lot of information here with how it works, what it looks like, all that stuff. You got the install, you got pricing, all that cool stuff. Not really going to go over the pricing. You can get, depending on your configuration, you can get up to 4 rigs for free. If you are using, I think the way it works is if you're using 2 of those rigs for mining Ethereum Classic or Ethereum on Hive on Pool, then 4 of your rigs are free. I think that's the way it works. But you know, all that is in pricing to kind of let you understand how it all works over there. So click that if you're interested in that. If you only have 1 rig, it's going to be free. I think 1 rig is always free, and then 2, you know, obviously if you're mining on Hive on Pool and stuff like that, it'll continue to be free. So depending on how you set it up and how you're mining and what you're mining on, it can be free up to 4 rigs from what I understand. All right. So then you would go to the install button here, or the install link. And in our case, we're going to be downloading a GPU image. I didn't clean up my folder here. Hang on a second. I forgot to clean up my folder. Just a second. All right, so there we go. Just gotta clean up my downloads folder. Okay, so you'll go here to GPU and you will click on zip. In our case, they have lots of other things in here, like if you have AMD Vegas, they've got the utility here for flashing. We're gonna use Etcher, Balena Etcher in our case, but it's got all the instructions basically here for how to do this, and we're going to blast right through it really quick. I've already actually started imaging, so because it takes quite a while on these little slow USB drives that I have. So let's see. So we're going to go GPU, download the zip. I already have this version, and I've already started imaging. So you're going to download it. I'm not going to download it because I already have it. But this is the latest stable version that they'll always have on their website here. Then you will fire up Balena Etcher. That link is right here. I think it's a link, yep. So if you click on the link, you'll go over here and grab Balena Etcher, and this is just a program used to image your drives. All right. So you'll download that. This is what burns the image to the USB drive. Then you will go through the motions of, it'll be 3 options in here, and I think it shows you right here. Select image, so you'll click select image, you'll go to where the image is that you just downloaded from the website. and you'll choose that. Then you'll insert a, I think it's got to be at least an 8 gig. I think the image is like 7.55 gig now. So you'll need at least an 8 gig USB drive. I use 32 gig. Doesn't really matter, but that's what I use. And then that'll be in the select drive option. So you'll choose the correct drive. Don't choose the incorrect drive, because you'll overwrite data and it'll be irretrievable. So make sure it's the drive that you want to actually overwrite. And then you'll click flash. And then whenever you click flash, you'll get something that looks like this. And you'll see a progress bar here. So while this is going, actually, let me show you this real quick too. In tools over here, I always have eject on success turned off. I also turn off validate write on success. This is because you have to access the drive after it's burned. After the image is burned, you need to add a file to it or modify a file on it. So instead of having to uninsert it and reinsert it, I just leave it on eject on success is turned off, okay? Because a lot of times, like, one of the problems that I'll get after a video like this is someone will say, well, I did what you said, I burned the image, but then the drive doesn't show up. You know, so I have to like prompt them like, okay, well, did you like try removing the drive and reinserting the drive? Because by default, this thing is going to eject the drive, software-wise. It's not going to throw it out the top of your computer or anything, but it will not be recognized by the OS anymore. So you got to remember that. It's kind of funny. It's like the very first thing I ask them whenever I get those questions. Okay. So then we've decided already, or you've decided already, to mine Ravencoin. And why are we mining Ravencoin? Well, if you look at what to mine right now, and we look at this particular rig, we're going to be using the Kajimi rig. It's a P10690, 10 P10690 rig. I don't have it. It's not in here because it's not one of the GPUs that you can select. The closest one is 10 gig, but the problem is this 10 gig here is a 6 gig. 10 gig. What am I saying? 1060. This 1060 here is a 6 gig version, so it doesn't play exact with the percentages and with the formulas down here. So I have to actually manually plug in the numbers based on what I know the rig will do, you know, through testing and all that. So that's why I have nothing selected up here, because if I choose 1060s, it's gonna mess up all the numbers. So anyway, so this rig, I only have the 2 algorithms I have selected are ETH 4 gig, because these are 3 gig cards. So you don't want to choose ETH over here because it's going to throw Ethereum on there and all that stuff, and these cards will not mine Ethereum because the DAG file is too large. So I'm going to leave this up there, and then I'm also going to leave CawPow. That is the Ravencoin algorithm. And through some testing, I was getting about 58.53 mega hash, not great on CawPow, but you know, it is what it is. These are older cards. So I'm going to click calculate here. And this is why I would say that you might want to mine Ravencoin, because it's actually more profitable right now than Ethereum Classic, which is cool. You know, I'm happy for Ravencoin. That's good. This rig that we're going to be using typically is dedicated to Ethereum Classic. That's why I built it. I was going to try to, you know, ROI, break even the rig. I actually said ROI there, and I never do that. I was going to try to see how long it would take to break even on the hardware, and yeah, so that's that. We were mining Ethereum Classic, but I wanted to do this video, so I figured we would. While I was doing a little bit of research, I discovered Ravencoin was actually a little bit more profitable. So I was like, hey, go figure. You know, let's throw that into the video. So kind of cool to see that happen in there. See where we're at with our imaging. 68%, super slow, and unfortunately, this drive might be bad. It usually doesn't even take this long. I don't know. This was one I had like in a questionable pile of USB drives, so it might actually be bad. It might fail, but we'll see what happens. So once you decide that you want to mine Ravencoin, then you need to find out. Okay, you need an address to mine to, right? So we will use the Zelcore wallet. I like Zelcore. You guys know that if you've been watching the channel for any time at all. That's true, Richard Porter. That's a good point. I could pull up the 1050 Ti on here, this is such a distraction. On here, I could pull up the 1050 Ti. It's pretty close. Let's see, what is it? What is the? It's doesn't show the, what's the, how many gig? Is it a 4 gig card? I think that's what 1050 Ti's are, right? So the problem with that is, well, actually it wouldn't really be that. That is pretty good. That's a good idea. I'll try that and see how close it is once we're done messing around here. Good idea though. All right, where are we at? Not there. What was I doing? Oh yeah, so once you decide that you want to mine Ravencoin, we have to get a wallet. I'm going to use Zelcore. We're going to add some assets here. We're just going to add Ravencoin. This is a awesome wallet that has, it's a multi-asset wallet, and it actually supports Ravencoin and assets on the Ravencoin network, which is kind of cool. They do have to update it, update the list. It's almost manual the way it seems. So in order to actually support Ravencoin assets, there'll be like pretty frequent updates to the wallet, but it is super easy to update your wallet. The only thing that I know happens, unfortunately, whenever you update the wallet is like if you've got a link down here that you can't see it on the screen, but if you've pinned the Zelcore wallet to your taskbar at the bottom of Windows 10, then whenever you update the wallet, that'll be broken. It'll be gone. I think it'll actually be disappeared. So you have to re-add it each time. But other than that, whenever you launch the wallet, it's going to say update available down here in the bottom right hand corner, and then it'll say the next time you start it, it's going to be updated. So the next time you close the wallet and start it, it'll update, and then that'll be the end of it. It's super easy. Literally no interaction at all by the person by the user other than to shut down the wallet and restart it. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna grab an address, we're gonna go receive here, and this is the address that we're going to copy. Just click on it to copy it. So that is the address that we are going to mine to. Yeah, see right here they got assets. You can actually go out here and search for Ravencoin assets. Pretty cool. All right, let's see where we're at with our, wow, we're at 78%. Come on. I was hoping to be done with this by now. Oh, that's cool, Richard Porter. I have mine. Mine's very close. It was, I don't know what you've got for overclock settings, but I have, where am I at? Yeah, I was getting 58.53 right before the stream. That's with like some pretty basic Overcooked Panda overclock settings. And that's it. Yeah, pretty close, pretty close. Guild War, no. But the problem with CawPow, the algorithm, it's much like ProgPow, lots of power. And if you haven't set the overclock settings correctly initially, whenever you first fire up the rig and start mining CawPow, you're going to run into a lot of problems because you have to get the overclock settings first. It's like paramount that you get it tuned correctly before you engage the CawPow or ProgPow algorithm, because I think even Red Panda Mining did something like that. I think he burned some cables initially because it will just suck all the power. It's crazy. Crazy. So you got 150 core, 600 mm. We'll look at that. I think I have 200 core, 500 mm, I think is what I have. Something like that. Or what I had, anyway. Come on, man. It's taking forever. All right, so what else do we need? We are going to need a pool. So let's head over to miningpoolstats.stream. We'll plug in Ravencoin. We'll see how the hash rate is distributed. Okay, it's not terrible. let's see here. What do we want to? I mean, the easiest one is 2 miners. It's going to be the most reliable as far as, you know, being online and all that stuff. We could probably go with B-Side or Raven Miner. We'll probably just go with 2 miners. Super easy. So we're going to click on 2 miners, even though, you know, we should spread the hash rate out a little bit more, but just for the video, we'll go with 2 miners. And then if you need help, like, hey, what? Okay, so I chose 2 miners. Now what? So you come over here to how to start, and it's basically going to tell you what you need. Now, the cool thing about Hive OS is a lot of this data, a lot of this information is already plugged into Hive OS, as long as Hive OS has this pool in there. And there's a very good chance that it is in there because it is the #1 Ravencoin pool. Okay, so probably the top, I don't know how many, 10, maybe even top 20, probably not top 20, but yeah, maybe 15 are actually in Hive OS already. So whenever you choose them, some cool stuff happens because it puts a lot of information in there for you, like what miner to use. You'll see what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with it. It works out really well. So we're going to look at that in a minute once this thing is done. While that's finishing though, we do need to come over here to once you get oh yeah, you know what? I skipped over that part too. You have to register. I did mention my ref link over there, so you have to register and then you come to install and go through the steps here. All right, kind of overlooked that a little bit. But what you'll end up with is once you get logged into it the first time, a lot of this is going to be blank, of course. You're not going to be mining anything yet. You won't have any workers or GPUs or anything. What you will have is one farm down here that says default. I think it's default or default name. I think it's just default. So you would click on that. I think you can actually, let me back up a little bit here. I think if you go to edit right here, that doesn't do anything. Never mind. So you have to go into here, have to click on the farm, and then go to settings, like if you want to change the name of it. And in this case, it's okay for me to show you this farm hash, but I would never show anyone my actual farm hash. This is just a YouTube farm that I use for videos, and that's it. Okay, so this is like private information, because if people have this information, they can really cause some problems, taking over your farm and your rigs and stuff. So don't show that to anybody outside of your trusted people. All right, so we need to come over here to workers though, because we don't have any workers, so we need to add one. We're burning the image for one right now, so we have to come over here and we have to click the little plus button, add a worker. It is a GPU worker. We'll call it Kajimi YouTube. The miner password. Don't worry about description. I mean, I'm not going to, but you know, you can put whatever you want to in here. And then click add. So that's going to get a worker up and added to Hive OS. Now, this information is what's important to put on the USB drive, so that the rig knows how to talk to Hive OS and your Hive OS farm here. So you've got farm hash and all that stuff. But what I do is I click on download rig.conf for this worker. And normally I would store it like, you know, somewhere like downloads, or store it somewhere. If this is going to be a rig that you're going to use a lot, or often, or it's a pretty standard rig, or a steady rig, okay, you are going to want to save this file, and like you can name them whatever you want to name them, but whenever you put it back on the USB that you want to boot to and have it access Hive OS, you would need to change it back to rig.conf, because this is the file name that it looks for. Okay, all right, so it looks like we are close to, yep, we're finished over here. You're going to get all these pop-ups. You just keep clicking cancel and all that stuff if this happens to you. You don't want to reformat the drive. Okay, so whenever you see this, you always cancel that. Okay, and then you can see how it went ahead and opened up the drive in my Windows Explorer here, or File Explorer. Cancel this one. There's a dozen of them, because there's 3 different drives, 3 different partitions on the Hive OS operating system. Now you can see right here it's got a rig config example. If we were to go into that, you can see what it looks like as an example. But what we need to do, we need to grab that rig.conf file that we copied for our worker and just pull it over here. Now this USB drive is ready to boot up. We are ready to throw this in a rig and boot to it. So I'm going to right click and eject. So now we can safely remove the drive. Let's see how far we can go over here first though. We need to set up a flight sheet. But the very next thing you do is set up a flight sheet. We're going to create a flight sheet. Oh, we need to do a wallet first. See how it guides you that way? It's kind of weird. I wish it would say, like initially, like, hey, you got to set up a wallet first, dude. So anyway, so we got to go to wallets. Click add a wallet. It's Ravencoin. What do I have copied? Do I have my address copied here? I do now. So we're going to paste that in there. Call it Raven YouTube. I don't think any of this stuff will work. Let's see here. Yeah, not with Raven. Nope. So we're not going to worry about either of those settings. Then we're going to click create. So now we've got our wallet created that knows our address here. So this is how it builds the miner configuration for your mining software, which is it's you know, Hive OS is going to launch the regular miners like Phoenix or Team Red Miner or whatever. It's going to launch that from here, so it's real automated. It's a good system. Then we're going to go to flight sheet. Flight sheet just means like, hey, what are my settings for a worker that we want to use? And what this means is you got the coin, what wallet to use, okay, and then what pool. And remember, we said that if you choose one that's in here already, you can choose your own by choosing configure in miner, right? But whenever you do that, it's going to be on you. You're going to have to figure out which miner. You're going to have to figure out all the settings for the miner. So if you're new, or if you just want it done super simple, if you choose a pool that is already in Hive OS like this, then you can choose the pools. You like see how it already has the pools in here. So I'm in the US. I'm going to choose US. I'll use a backup pool as EU, even though my latency to that would probably be pretty bad, but we are going to use the US pool initially. And then you could use SSL if you wanted to. And let's see here. So now it's going to, it pre-selected some miners for us. You see how it did that? See how the list is pretty short? And for Ravencoin, I think I'm going to use T-Rex miner. I think that that's still pretty good for mining Ravencoin on NVIDIA. So T-Rex, and then if we click on Setup Miner Config, you're going to see that these variables, the algorithm is already selected. You don't have to worry about, looks like you don't have to worry about worker name because it's over here. It's part of this config. And pool URL is going to use it from the settings within Hive OS. So that works. Password. And then you're using the latest version of the miner. So that's it. Apply changes. We got to give it a name. And then create flight sheet. All right, so the next thing we have to do, so that's two things. We've got a wallet, a flight sheet. Now we need to look at overclocking. So we need to go into overclocking templates. I always get confused on this, but I think that if we choose for default, believe that what did Richard Porter say? He said 150 core, 600 mem. What about power? Like 70? 75? 70, 75? All right. And then, well, actually, that would be, this is like default. So this is not for a specific algorithm, but I'll just leave that in there for now. So now we want to add an algorithm. So I'm going to go in here. I could have done this initially, I think. Oh, that's right. I think call power. You have to put call power in there. Okay. So core clock 150, memory 600, power 70. Sounds good. And then that's it. So save that. Now, I think that the way that this will work is whenever we first boot this rig up, now it's going to pull those OC settings. Okay. We'll have to double check, but I think that that's how it'll work. So now it says missed flight sheet. Now we haven't booted the rig up yet. Okay. So I'm going to put a check mark here because I need to assign a flight sheet to this rig. So if you put a check mark next to the rig, click the little rocket. The only one that's in here is Raven. You know, as you build them, they'll list in here. You'll have more. I'm going to choose that flight sheet and then apply. So hopefully, whenever we first boot this rig up, it's already going to be configured with the flight sheet, and hopefully just start mining us some sweet Raven here. So let me switch over to that camera. I will be right back. You're going to see me throw this in that top rig over there. All right. Let's see what happens. I don't have the monitor is not plugged up to that rig. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on Hive OS over here. What is up, everybody? Yeah, I haven't said hey to everybody. What's up, Richard Porter? ABMNS Production. What is up, Crypto World? Funny Mike Gaming. Mark Escabas. What is up? Probably mispronouncing your name. Sorry about that. Guild War, Yashnik, Crypto Mikhail, Fire Marshal Bill. Guild War, what's going on, everybody? You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Super cool, super cool. And a lot of times, the very first time it boots up, it does take a little bit of time because it has to download some updates and it talks to, what's up, Turbo Junkie? Chancoin, what's up? Game Sick. Yeah, it has to get some updates from Hive OS and all that stuff. So hopefully this thing will boot. Again, that USB drive was a little flaky. I'm stingy with the mods, man. All right, so it did show up. You can see the rigs here, or the GPUs here, so that's good. Should be 10 of them. Yep. What's up, John Germain? So now if we go into the rig, we can probably get into it remotely here. Maybe. Default is user, and then 1 is the password. It's probably, I mean, it's operating like super slow. So I would imagine that it's just super busy. It's probably doing all the little updates and stuff in the back. Or probably trying to fire up the miner, maybe. So I'm just going to go right to the miner, see if it actually starts up. It's like, what are you doing to me? Yeah, see, so it's doing it's downloading the miner itself, T-Rex. Okay, so that's what it's showing here. Turbo Junkie, yeah, I bought these at, I think they were $34.99 each. It was like right after Ethereum Classic forked to ETC hash. I was like, you know what? I am going to look on eBay and see what these cards are going for, these 3 gig cards. And I did, and I found somebody selling, they had hundreds of them. I don't know if it was you, but at the time they were selling them for like 34 bucks because it hadn't hit yet. You know, the fact that Ethereum Classic forked and the 3 gig cards could be in demand again, so it hadn't hit yet. And got 10 of them. Actually, I bought 11. One of them was bad. 10 of them or 11 for $34.95 each, or $34.99 or something like that. Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, wow, this is sick. So that's what gave me an idea to just do, you know, a dedicated Ethereum Classic rig and just see how long it takes to break even on it. I'm kind of eating into that profitability right now, a little bit by using the rig for this video, but you know how that goes. You know, used to is like, okay, the rig's going to be down for, you know, a day, you know, for some maintenance or something. Now it's like, no way, man. We cannot have zero downtime. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's 2 point. That's a good question. Let me go look. I'll leave that on the screen so y'all can see what it's doing as it's firing up here. Let me look at the. I'll bring it over here once I find it. I think it's. Seems like it is. Yeah, it might just be 2.5. I think that's right. I'd have to do some digging to really get into it, but I know clearly you can mine with 3 gig, but probably not 2 gig. So you see it kind of coming up here. It looks like I got a hash rate listed, 57.33. I did notice that it does take a little bit of time, you know, to max out. But what I do want to check though, I do want to check to see no overclock settings. I think you still have to come in here and actually apply it. I think you can do it this way. So if you come in here, I need to refresh my memory on this because, let's see here. You have to go, I think you have to go to overclocking templates. And then from here, you would say, oh, son of a tech. Thanks, man. Thanks for the $5. Maybe you can refresh my memory on how to do overclock settings here, or how to make it to where it's automatic. I know I've done a video on like overclocking templates, but I'm drawing a blank right now for some reason. I mean, we can always just plug them in here. We know what they are. So 200, 600, 70. And luckily, these cards aren't prone to really draw too much power because they're like 75 watts max. So we don't have to worry about so much. But if you've got more powerful card like a RX 580 or something like that, and you're trying to do call power with it, you got to really be careful with your overclocks, because you will cause some damage potentially. Alright, so I think we got some overclock in there. Looks good now. Okay. All right, let's see here. So if we go back, let's let it run for a minute here. See where we're at. 5807 here. It says 689 watts. It's going to be more than that. Probably around 1,050, somewhere around there. It looks like it's about 58, 5804, we go over to the pool, see if there's anything showing up over there yet for us. Just paste your address up here in 2 miners. Click. Okay, yeah, nothing over there yet. Zero shares. I was wanting to get at least one in here so that we can look at it on the pool. Verify everything. So son of a tech, how's the weather? Jeez, man. I've been kind of keeping up with your story over there. That's insane. So did you get your power back? Because the last I saw, I think you were, I don't know if you were running a generator or what. Hey, what's up, Dilbert? Okay, so it looks like we got potential share here. Oh man, it's gonna freeze again. How many Ravencoin I can pay out on this pool? I'm not sure how many you would need. I know there's ways of setting it. Let's see here. Payouts. Nope. See, it's only registering 7 mega hash on the pool. But it does have data now, so that's good for our miner. I think I would have to let some data build here before anything's going to be like option. No, I won't have any options here. I mean, I see this data, but I don't know if you can set the you know, like the minimum. It might be something you can set in the miner too. Okay, so it looks like 2 miners doesn't have a way of changing it. Oh, that's awesome, son of a tech. I wish I could quit. Good grief, man. Woo! Yeah. I wish I could make the right moves with crypto and actually get that FU money, if you know what I mean. Alright, so I don't want to make this video too long. It looks like we are all good to go. Getting some shares across, at least 1, 4 it looks like, actually. 58 mega hash. We're showing up on the pool. You see it's climbing now, and you know it takes a while for the pool to catch up. It's all averages and stuff like that, so It does take a while, but once you're watching this, it'll eventually level out and probably match pretty close to what your Hive OS is saying. Yeah, there you go, son of a tech. That's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, crypto world. I hear you on the fees. Yeah, there's a lot of different pools will allow you to change the payout. Some of them is like will let you do it from within the miner config, you know, in the flight sheet. So like they'll have different settings. Like maybe you could edit like the password field. Sometimes you can put something in there and actually that'll change the payout. It all depends on the pool. We just chose one that doesn't allow a change, so just our luck. I hear you, son. I just blew up a PSU. I've got a RMA one. I have a Seasonic that fried some of the cables on it. Oh, there we go. See, it's creeping up there. All right. I think we're good. I like chatting crypto with you guys, but, you know, I got to keep these videos a little bit shorter. It's already 45 minutes, 42 minutes, so if you found this interesting, entertaining, helpful in any way, be sure to subscribe and all that cool stuff. You guys are awesome for hanging out and mining some Ravencoin. Yeah, I think that ABMS, MNS, I think that the wattage is it's going to be more than that. It's probably because the system, this isn't including the system. So I'm going to go in here to settings, and I can show you down here. I've got my wattage in there, or kilowatt hour in there, but right here, if you plug in, like, let's say that you know for a fact that the rig in its current config, current mining, all that stuff, let's say you've got like a power meter on it, a kilowatt, or you know, some other smart power monitoring meter, and you know that the rig is doing like 1150 or 1050, then you can look at what it's doing now. Okay, so it's doing 774, and you can add like the amount here for the system and the peripherals, which in this case it'd probably be about let's see, 7, so 3, probably about 300 is what I would put here to get it close to what the actual wattage is. Okay, actually maybe 250. I know that the rig is consuming more than that, you know, based on what I see. So yeah, but probably about 1048. That makes more sense. So now this isn't saying that, you know, at idle it's using 250. What I'm doing is I know that the rig is consuming more than what it's showing me in Hive, and I know what it's pulling at the wall. So that's why I'm just trying to make the numbers match up. But that'll help you in the long run, you know, just monitor it properly with the right power consumption, because it's just not showing the right data. It would be awesome if it was only doing 700, but I know that that's not true at the wall. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Son of a Tech, for stopping in. That was really a surprise, a nice surprise. I'll see you guys next time. Stay warm, Son of a Tech, and everybody else, and Son of a Tech. Y'all stay savage.